Hi, Ray here, and today I want to show you how I put together a portable audio recording system for location work based around the Røde Wireless Go system. So I've had a few ideas rolling around in my head for a while now on how best to make a lightweight portable audio recording kit for location work, but I couldn't quite decide exactly what components I wanted to use. I already have a Rode Stereo Video Mic Pro, and I also have the NTG2 shotgun microphone that's recording this right now. And I've been using the Tascam DR60D Mark II external recorder. Again, that's what you're hearing right now, and I'll take that into post-production, do a little bit of tweaking on the sound. So of course I wanted to use the existing Tascam recorder, and long story short, after a while I settled on the Røde Wireless Go system. So without further ado, let's take a look at the components that I chose to make up this little portable audio recording system for location work. First of all, of course, is the stars of the show, the Røde Wireless Go system, right here, comprised of a transmitter and a receiver. And we turn those on by holding down this little button on the bottom until we get the blue lights here on the transmitter, and on the receiver we hold down a similar button until it fires up. And incidentally, now you can see monitoring the audio, and there is a gain control here, decibel gain control, so there's that. And it comes, this transmitter has a little built-in microphone, and it does come with these little well, they call them dead cats in the larger microphones, so maybe these are, I don't know, dead caterpillars. And so that they do fit on here, but as many people have pointed out, they're a bit fiddly, and I don't anticipate using those, because I actually also invested in the wireless, or the Go Lavalier mic, and I'll be using that most of the time. I don't have the dead caterpillars for those, which are called the Mini Fur Lav. I have ordered them. I'm awaiting delivery of those. So maybe I'll do a test of those in the future. It also comes with charging cables, although not the little bricks, whatever. I use the ones for my iPhone, but it comes with those. And next in line is my Tascam DR60D Mark II external recorder, and that's what I'm going to be using with it. We can turn this on. If I press the right button, we can turn that on. And so now that is running on the AA batteries that are in here. The thing eats batteries, so we need an answer to that. And the answer to that is this Anker PowerCore 2. That's a 10,000 milliamp hour portable charger. And so on from there. There's a couple of options that I can use. I can use this TRS cable that comes with the Rode system, and I can plug that into channel 3.4 here, and set that to stereo. So that would work. The other option is to use this Rode VXLR adapter to use with the XLR input here. So there we have it, and now you can see the Tascam is picking up the recording, and I can control my gain here on the Tascam recorder, and we're ready to go. So let's hook all that up as we would do. And so first of all, I'll plug in with this mini USB cable. We plug that in to the Tascam recorder right here, and we'll turn that on. And it's asking me if I want to use bus power, so I'll say OK. Now it's all hooked up, and you can see that we're recording, but as I said, I'm going to use this Go Lav mic, or Lav Go mic, whichever it is,
and that plugs right into there. So now what you're seeing is actually the lav mic in use. So that's exactly how we're going to use this whole system. But I don't want it just loose like this, banging around in my bag as it was in my first test. So let's look at what we're going to do about that. This was the first candidate for holding this system. A little Major, that's how it's pronounced, Major, waterproof case. And nicely built. At half the price of others. This one cost about $50, I believe. But it soon became apparent this was not going to fit everything. And so back to the drawing board, or rather back to Amazon. This larger case, and I'll give you the sizes here. This one here is 13 by 3.5 by 11.63 inches by 5.98 inches. And this looks more reasonable. So we can see here that this should fit. The depth was an issue as well. So this is what we're going to be looking at now. Something like this. I think this, I get untangled here. I think this, the cable is going to go down underneath there. That should fit there. That should fit maybe there, like that somehow. And then the other things like this, maybe slot that down in there somehow. Slot this somewhere else. We'll see. We'll get it worked out. I'm going to arrange things a little bit more and we'll start working on it. So yeah, something like that for the main components. We'll get to where these are going next. I'd like to get them in there. It makes sense, and there should be some room. But the main components. The first thing that we need to do is mark out where these are going to sit. So I'm going to start with the Tascam recorder and my Sharpie and start marking this out. Just the basic space for now. Doesn't have to be perfect. How does that look? Yep, there we have it. So I'm going to go ahead now with the rest of it. Okay, here comes the scary part. Mark those out. Had to make a little bit of an adjustment here. But yeah, here comes the scary part, cutting the foam. So let's start off here. Okay, do I take this out now? Incidentally, there's another piece of thinner foam on the bottom. I'm actually going to take this foam out because I don't want to cut it. Okay, so maybe not the greatest job there, but there we go. Now again, I realize that this is going to be too deep for this, but that's not bad. So I will have to put, cut some of this off and pad it in the bottom. But so far so good. Now this part, of course, is very shallow, so I'm doing the best I can, surgeon-like manner, to just kind of not go too deep there. Here's this. Well, it doesn't look pretty underneath. Maybe a little heat gun action will fix that up a bit, but it does work. So onto these two. Once again, get out the scalpel. Yeah, I recently went under the knife, so I feel like maybe I'm channeling a little bit of my surgeon's expertise here. Let's hope so anyway. Okay, so I put the bottom layer of foam back in, and I cut this with a bread knife actually, and so now let's see how things look. It all looks good. All sits quite nicely, I think, and it's going to close just great. So there's a good start. Now I'm just going to continue wiring things up. But first, let's do a little cleanup. Now what I'm going to do is lay this USB cable in the bottom. That's 1 meter. I couldn't find anything shorter. So it's a nice looking cable, so I went for this. And then we'll put this back in again. Hope this will work. So now we have our cable there, we have our cable there. I might need to adjust it a little bit, but you'll get the idea. So now we plug in here to the Tascam. There we go. Might have to cut a little notch in there, I think, definitely. But again, this will give you the idea of my plan, my devious plan. So now we plug in the power, and I don't think I'll have to do anything to that. This one here, you know, we're gonna have to, oh, maybe I'll just, maybe that works. Yeah, maybe that works. So now, when we turn that power on, and we turn this power on, again, it's asking me if I want to use bus power. Yes. And we're ready to roll. Well, if I turn this on. And if I turn this on. So there we go. And now you're seeing monitoring in the Tascam. Yeah, this is a little bit, I should have had this over just a little bit more. That's kind of an extreme bend there. Well, I thought I'd come back and show you a little bit of judicious surgery here in the foam and that cable. Those cables run pretty well. If I had it to do over again, yeah, I'd probably move the Tascam over, maybe 1/2 inch at least. But these woven cables handle curves pretty well, and I think that it should be fine. I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but we don't want to anger the gods. And finally, this is how I've dealt with the charging cables and the Go Lavalier mic. They both fit into there quite nicely. I just cut out this little bit here. And once again, I'll clean up these edges with my heat gun. So we can just put that in there and carefully put in the Lavalier Go mic. So that all fits nicely there, I think. And then to put it away, we just turn off the Tascam. And we can see the Anchor external battery goes to sleep. Then we just have to turn off the Rode mic. And I should also remind you that there's a decibel control there, gain control right there, and of course also on the Tascam, and they work independently. But I have those set up to work properly, and then it's just a matter of turning off the transmitter with the built-in mic. And actually that one's still going. You have to hold these down quite a while to turn them off, so something to take note of. There, it's all shut down, and I can close it up, and we're good to go.
So that's what the finished location kit looks like. Now, when I first got the Røde Wireless Go and the Lavalier Go mic, I was pretty excited to see how it would work, and even though it was pouring rain out, I decided to brave the elements and take it out for a field test. As you can see, I used it on this day under several layers, a sweater and a double layered leather jacket, and it still seemed to function very well under these circumstances. So pretty impressed. I did notice that you've Still got to use line of sight. You don't want to have buildings in the way or whatnot. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that these layers of clothing seem to have no effect whatsoever on the broadcasting ability of the transmitter. Here we are with a test of the Røde Wireless Go system. I'm not going to do a test of distance or anything. This is as much as I'll ever need. I got a 50mm 1.8 lens on the main camera there. Here's the GoPro, and I'm wearing the Røde Video Go lav mic, and I'm recording into a Tascam DR60D. Curtis Judd and other people on YouTube have done the distance test. This is, as I said, this is about as far as I ever really need to be. This might not be the best test for the actual audio, seeing as it's pouring with rain. We've got a creek, a raging creek on this side, and a river on that side. But so yeah, my main test here is really of how this is functioning in terms of audio, what kind of quality we've got, and who knows. So with the addition of a GoPro camera and the Motorsport suction cup accessory, I can pull off interior car shots like this, or like this. Well, it's not the first time that I've done a through the windscreen shot, but it is the first time that I've been able to talk to the camera and have the audio at the same time. Well, you gotta love the Pacific Northwest monsoon. This is the time of year that we grow moss behind our ears.